So Manchester United have been linked with both Eduardo Camavinga and Saul Niguez in the past few days, with Declan Rice also being talked about after his outstanding start to the season. But which of the three should Manchester United sign, if any? For cheap good quality football jerseys, retro jerseys and tracksuits, go over to www.jerseyfever.com, a link will be left in the description, and use code ATLANTISFOOTBALL for 5% off. Well, what do United actually need from a central midfield signing? Well, with Pogba now being used as a left-sided advanced playmaker in Solskjaer's 4-2-3-1, he has been using McTominay and Fred as a midfield double pivot, with Matic also coming in that position for the Southampton game, but I do think McTominay and Fred will be Solskjaer's starting midfield double pivot. Both Fred and McTominay are good all-round central midfielders, but they do not excel at anything specifically, so therefore I do not consider them elite. McTominay is a very good reader of the game, having the ability to make interceptions in the middle and final thirds to win the ball back, whilst Fred is a very good pressing central midfielder, knowing how and when to apply pressure in the opposition's half, but neither are great at breaking up counter-attacks, with Fred not being a great one-on-one defender when isolated in the middle of the pitch, and McTominay also not being elite in this department. Both players are good circulators of the ball, but neither are playmakers who have the ability to open up systems and create in the final third, and in terms of ball progression, both aren't great carriers of the ball through dribbles through the centre of the midfield. So United should be looking to improve on Fred and McTominay's ball progression and their breaking up of counter-attacks. Declan Rice would certainly provide a defensive improvement, being a much better tackler in the press and against the counter-attack, whilst also being a better interceptor than both Fred and McTominay. However, I don't think that Rice is an elite ball winner like Ndidi or Kante, but he still puts up some good ball winning numbers. He completed 1.8 tackles per 90 last season in the Premier League, being dribbled past 0.9 times per 90 and making 1.8 interceptions per 90, the 11th most of any central midfielder in the league. On the other hand, Ndidi completed 4.1 tackles per 90, the most out of any central midfielder in the league, and was only dribbled past 1.9 times per 90, giving him a 68% tackle success rate compared to Rice's 50%, whilst also completing 2.7 interceptions per 90, the most of any central midfielder. So just from the numbers, we can still see that Rice is a very good ball-winning Premier League midfielder, but he's not elite. So with West Ham demanding £60 million plus, I can't see why United would do this deal, particularly when you consider Ndidi wouldn't cost that much more, but would be a level above Rice. Camavinga and Saul Niguez, on the other hand, are far better all-round central midfielders than Rice. Both Camavinga and Saul are top-level ball progressors. Camavinga does this with his forward passes into players between the lines, but also through his dribbling ability, which allows him to drift past players with the ball. This is also a skill that Saul has in the centre of the field, and it allows both players to move the ball up the pitch solely with their dribbling, which is something that Matic, Fred and McTominay all lack. When we look at Saul Niguez's FBref report from the last 365 days against other midfielders in Europe's top 5 leagues, we can see that Saul ranks in the 80th percentile or above for tackles completed, aerial duels won, progressive passes received, touches in the penalty area and total shots, showing that Saul is neither a sole ball winner or creator. Camavinga ranks below the 50th percentile for goal scoring metrics, but ranks in the 80th percentile or higher for pass completion, progressive carries, pressures and progressive passes received, and he also ranks in the high 90s for tackles completed and dribbles completed, which shows why I do believe Camavinga is already an elite ball carrier and ball winner. Both Saul and Camavinga are very press resistant, which cannot be said to the same extent for McTominay and Fred. So with either of these two coming into the United midfield, United would be improving their ability to play out of their half while being pressurised assertively, with Camavinga having the dribbling ability to drive out of a press, and Saul having the flair and close ball control to play around pressing players. Saul certainly brings more in the final third, capable of the sensational, with his long shooting ability being evident over the past few seasons. Camavinga doesn't yet have this creativity in the final third, but this wouldn't be his main responsibility, with Fernandes and Pogba the two advanced creators in Solskjaer's system. I think either of these two would be the starting central midfielder, playing alongside either McTominay or Fred. Camavinga and Fred would both bring pressing ability from midfield, and Fred is a better passer than McTominay, so I could see his interplay with Camavinga being a lot better. Saul as well would benefit from playing alongside Fred, but I think that both Saul and Camavinga would need to sit behind the ball and be the player to break up counter-attacks, as this is not a strong part of Fred's game. So who would I rather United sign in central midfield? Well, I would prefer Camavinga, not just because I think long term he will be an elite central midfielder, but also because right now I think his forward passing and ball carrying ability is superior to Saul's and arguably better than most in the Premier League. Camavinga would cost around £30 million, and at just 18 United would have a player for the next decade and beyond, and nowhere near his prime at the moment. Saul would be the better option if United wanted a more creative weapon in the final third, with Saul having the attacking instincts that would suit him being given the licence to push further forward. But with Pogba and Fernandes in these advanced roles, I think that having a central midfielder who can move the ball from the middle and defensive thirds into the final third is what United need, and combine this with Camavinga's tackling ability and his ability to break up counter-attacks, as well as being able to win the ball high up the pitch during a press, I think the Frenchman is the best central midfield option for this United side. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that video, remember to subscribe to the channel, go to the description to check out some of my other Manchester United videos, including my analysis of their 5-1 win over Leeds, and my analysis of Camavinga, Varane and Declan Rice in the United side. Put your thoughts in the comment section below, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter for more content as well.